some readings for you tonight. So I try and do every other Tuesday, wherever I happen to be. If this is your first time joining me for this, then it's very nice and simple. We're just going to put your questions in the comment section there, and I will I'll go through them one by one. Something I did want to say is, it's the first day back after a long weekend, as it were. And like today, I've seen 3 or 4 people for lower back pain, which is kind of unusual for me. I see people for often more anxiety-related things, and maybe a little higher in the torso and so on. I thought I'd just speak to. The area of lower back pain, middle back pain, and in general the root chakra. Okay, so all of the chakras, of course, are connected. They're like systems of the body. You can't take one in isolation and think it won't affect the others. And yet, if you were to, the root chakra would probably be that one, and perhaps the solar plexus as well. Issues of security and trust and fear and so on. But we're just briefly looking at the lower back here. Louise Hay, the wonderful Louise Hay, lower back, middle back. She referred to. She would say that was issues there were relating to fear of money, and guilt as well, not necessarily connected. It's just one thing I want to say about fear of money. Now, I've had my own, just as I'm sure you have, and yet let's remember that money is something we use to make something else happen. With money is something we use to get something or have something else happen. And so, if we think about the fear of money, that's actually a mental interference, as it were, because it's not the fear of money; it's the fear of not having something that money can do. It's the fear of not having an experience that money is a conduit to make happen. Okay, and so I tend to find it helps to think about the end goal result or feeling to help move that in the root center. And with guilt, something someone said a few years ago. The thing about guilt, we have guilt. Guilt is when we're punishing ourselves for doing something that we want to do. Okay, and so I tend to find, working with guilt with myself, I've got to get. It's not so much guilt I've got to look at; it's authenticity. It's my own authenticity with myself. And so, when you've got lower back issues going on and it's energy related, it's because there's an accumulation and something is stuck. Okay. For any number of reasons. Now, general root chakra hygiene, shall we say, we want to be hydrated. We want to be moving a lot because elimination is the key there. And so a lot of, not all, a lot of the physical issues that can be moved very easily are a function of just that, working with elimination. And so you want to catch these things before they solidify to the point that they're actually causing you pain and discomfort, like lower back pain. So a key to that, and forgive me getting graphic, a key to that is you having occasional constipation. That's a key right there. So think about movement, think about hydration, think about elimination in general from your life in all ways. When you're getting into areas of significant sexual trauma, that is another separate issue to what I'm talking about here. That is a significant area. But for the sporadic, lighter issues which affect the root chakra, you want to think about hydration and movement, and the keys to opening up areas. So I hope that supports in some way. All right, so let's get to your questions now. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, there we go. Oh gosh, quite a lot here. Sue, all right. Sue, who is moving to Florida. How exciting. 64 is a good part of future rent. All right, let's have a look at this. Sue, I would say so, yes. I like the foundation of what I'm looking at. I don't see you there super long. I feel like I say that every time you look at apartments and so on. But the spread I'm looking at, it's solid. It's solid. Yeah, I'd say go for that one. Yeah, yeah. Super, super, super. Okay, Karen. Will my work contract be extended at the end of this month? Hoping it is extended to the end of this year or longer. Okay. Oh, I do see it getting extended beyond the end of this month. I'm not feeling to look at the end of the year yet. We've got a group reading in a couple of weeks. Happy to look at it there when I can kind of talk back to you. But no, when I see an outcome like that, I definitely see it past the end of this month. I get why you have the concern just looking at it here, but I do see it going past the end of this month. Yeah. All right. So I've got this person, and I've got to tell you, I would like a name. All right. So I don't feel comfortable with how this is coming up. So, in these first few minutes, yes, I'll gladly do a general reading, but I would like a name. All right. Diana. Hello, Diana. Tell me moving forward. All right. Yeah. Okay. Bear with me on this one, Diana. So, I get frustrated myself when I'm saying things that feel very generic, but bear with me on this. So, they are asking you to be present. Whoa, what a message! Be present. why go in with that? Because it's this sort of one. They're not. I don't see you rushing or anything like that, but they just want to bring you into coherence, confluence, alignment. Okay, why? Because the things that you're wanting, it's like you have a ponderance. You think, oh, that would be nice, and then you just cut off from it. And then you think, oh, that would be nice, and then you cut off from it. So they just kind of want to slow you down and bring you into and kind of put the pipes together to connect you with with any one of these things that you want to happen. Because they're like, well, give her it. We'll give her it. If she'll just stay with this creation and manifestation for more than 3 seconds, we'll give her it. They want you methodical at the moment, right? So I hope you're understanding what I'm saying by be present, sit still, have some, I'm not saying you're unappreciative. I'm not saying that. But they're saying have some appreciation for where you are, what you have, where you are at. Okay. Sometimes we need to, sometimes just the mere reflection and awareness of that makes it grow. And that's what they want for you. Okay. That's what they want for you. Okay. Anything you tell me to, oh, Jackie, anything you can tell me to focus on, especially to help improve energy? As he reaches for his oil. This is super good. I love this. It's my favorite one. RC, made by Young Living. Yeah, they're not cheap, but I do like them. I feel that was meant to show up at that moment. All right, so Jackie. I just want to say to everyone, I'm kind of getting past the point of doing the general reading, so I would like specific questions kind of from here on. I do see a couple of others. I will go to them, but you're asking Jackie to improve energy. Oh, great. This is just a great time for you to be asking this. Yeah. Right. So I'm getting more and more inclined, Jackie, to think about things in a reverse way. So if you think about, one can think about increasing energy, and yet how can you increase infinity, right? And 2 times infinity is still infinity. So if we're not feeling infinity, and I frequently am not, then think about what is getting in the way of that. Now, earlier on, I talked about the root chakra and so on, but I don't think your impedance or major impedance is in the root chakra. I think it's more around here actually with you. In terms of your perception of yourself, perception of the outer. Give you an example of the outer. All this really challenging stuff in the news lately, and how laws are not maybe changing in the most conducive way, if I just say that, and we tend to we kind of implode on ourselves. We constrict, okay, and when we constrict, we have less available energy because there's less available energy to go through. And so the thoughts that I'd like you to start catching and noticing and jumping on, okay, is thoughts like, well, they could do it, but I can't, and I could do it if I was there, or I could do that if I was them, or had this. It's the thoughts where we stop ourselves before we've even taken a step, right? That kind of thing. Because as they say, it is all in the mind. Now, when it's all in the mind, it is very real there until it's not, because it's all in the mind. Why does that impact your energy? Because when stuff gets switched off down up there, excuse my armpits, it's been a long day. I'll try and keep my arms down. When things get switched off up there, just like when things get switched off down there, we get the accumulation, we get the buildup of energy, and that is where a lot of fatigue comes from. So release that fatigue, and there's more energy, right? There's just more energy. Look at where you are withholding and who you're withholding from. Okay, there's an expression. There's so many expressions. That which I hold back holds me back. How about that one? So have a look at that, Jackie. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, Tracy. All right, I'm going to make this the last general reading. Anyone that's asked for general reading, please put please, and that I haven't answered yet, please put a specific question in, and with the greatest of pleasure. Okay, and I'm asking that because I want some specificity. The more specificity you give, the more you're going to get through me, right? Tracy. If you were listening a few minutes ago, Tracy, if you're still there, because I never know with people, and I was speaking to Diana, I think it was, about the importance of more focusing and staying with a creative vision, shall we say, right? And because when we don't, it prolongs the not having, and then we get our own doubt into it as well. So it's not so much. It's There's a couple of things in the way for you, but they're different. I want to explain this. The belief that I would ask you to look at, Tracy, is about how much good you can handle. There's a great book about this. What's it called? Oh, Jesus. No. The author is Gay Hendricks. His name is Gay Hendricks. It's a lovely book. So it's all about the upper limits of our perception. So not the horizontal, but the upper limits. Like, well, this is I can handle this much good, but not beyond that. And so that dovetails into how we sabotage and all of that. And so I'd like you to really expand the verticality of your ceiling on how much good you can have in life. And under that, around that, there's going to be fears of people taking away, of jealousy, of competition, and all these things. And yet you can have more good. The spirit's looking at you, wanting that. Spirit's looking at you, knowing you can have that, and they're in the most loving way saying, well, come on, give us something to work with. And the something to work with is your receptive vessel, right? All around you. Now, the other thing that's getting in your way, as is getting in all of our way at the moment, is just the general cloud of the collective at the moment. This is in some ways an incredible year, and in some ways an extremely challenging one, right? And what we all are having to work through is the cloud of agitation and fear and all these things that the world's going through at the moment. I mean, pick pick one, and there isn't one. There's like 17 right now. So there is archangelic support, just like reaching out to you, as it were, reach back, whatever that means to you. If it means meditating, if it means speaking, if it means some silence, if maybe your most receptive place is the bathtub, maybe it's the car, okay? But work with that. Give them something to work with, which is your time, your attention, and more expanded belief, expanded energy field, okay? All right. Okay. Chantel. I feel like someone's trying to direct you in some way, but you can't understand. I am as interested in what they want to tell you as I am why you're not hearing it. And I will take either. All right. What I'm pretty sure that they are telling you and wanting to tell you, okay, is to get out there and is to move. Now, out there, of course, is an amalgam of outside, and it's around and with and in front of people. I don't think forgive me being so blunt with you here. I don't think you want to hear that. Because, and look, I've got my own areas, Chantal, you know I do. But I don't think you want to hear that, because that is putting you in the line, and I think in your awareness, putting in the line of areas where you're not comfortable, you're not good at it, you're not as you're ready for as you were. And I'm not gonna cross certain lines here, because I'm just not going to. And yet, it's a reminder to you and a reminder to all of us that fear, worry, concern is an energy, and an energy that you can do something with, right? And they want you to do something with it. They want you to move it, because it, like energy, like any energy in the body that stays there for too long, it becomes disruptive. Let's just say that, all right? They want you to reclaim your power. And Chantal, I'm going to say that again. They want you to reclaim your power, right? Because it's no one else's, it's yours, and it's only yours. Only your power to reclaim. And if you're hearing me, then please also reflect on why you didn't want to hear that as clearly as possible, okay, through yourself. Because remember, this right now is only if you guys are getting messages right now through me, it's only because they couldn't get to you directly. And I'm not some hot shit, right? This is just another way for them to get to you. And the ideal is that they get directly to you. And we're not all wired the same. I have to do a lot of work myself, usually most mornings to understand what is my path for the day or path for the next couple of days. And I'm really only saying to you what I say to myself, all of you, right? Roberta, Mona, if you've got specific questions, I'll happily answer them. Marybeth, working on it as a temp right now. Will I be offered the position permanently? Not what I want to tell you. I'd like to tell you something else, Marybeth, but I do not see you being offered this position permanently. Okay. And if that is the case, then it is right and perfect for right now, which means there's going to be another right and perfect coming to and for you. It means that this is not the right place and position for you permanently. Okay. Okay. Amber, will money line up for my trip to Mexico? Oh, exciting. Mexico and India. Wow. Do you have any advice on this? Will money line up? And is there advice on this? Okay. Yay. So I do see money turning up for this trip. What a grand trip you have as well. What should we say? Let's start as we mean to go on. Let's remember that an excursion, a trip, an adventure. It's not an isolated part of one's life. It is simply a part of one's life that fits into the others. So, you ask for advice on it. One is to bring generosity into your expression, like starting now. Okay, generosity, giving. I can see you being in that position on this trip, on that trip, those trips. There's two, isn't it? You're in the right place, the right time with the right people. Something is passed on through you to someone else. Okay. Now we call that generosity. We can also just call that being a conduit, being a bridge, being in flow. The other is focus. I was with some people just now, and we are out at the park, and someone comes up to one of us, and I didn't like the vibe of him, so I kind of back away. And I had to say to her that spent a bit too much time talking to him, as it were. Like, why are you doing that? It doesn't, this person isn't maybe in the best space, and we don't want to alienate people, but look, your energy is down from having talked to him. Okay. And so sometimes we've got to employ focus in ourselves. We've got to employ boundaries in ourselves, because we will have the consequences of not doing so. And sometimes that means being direct or blunt. I mean, if you've been on here for a few minutes, you've heard me say that. I apologize for being blunt, but sometimes I have to because I care. Right? So you've got a long way to go. You've got a lot to, as in a physically distance to these places. So the energy that is going to expand the trip for you is generosity, giving and receiving equally, right? You're encouraged to have focus, to not be distracted. Okay, that means to not lose energy around you, which you will then have to recuperate and recohese. All right. And write your dreams down as well. Okay. Okay. This looks like Marty. Me and him has known each other for 19 years. We recently got back together about a month ago, and I was curious what you would pick up between me and his relationship. We are trying the last time together. Do you see it? At this time, considering I have been working on a lot of things myself. Okay, right. Just 1 second. Well, I have to tell you what I see, and I'm sorry, I don't see it working out, and I'm sorry that that is what I have to bring to you. I know how it feels to be invested in a relationship. I know how the hope feels, and I'm sure that's not what you wanted to hear me say. So I apologize for that, not for the information, but for that. Okay. Okay, this is Patty. I'm relocating to Florida in September. Oh, I know someone else that is as well. Looking for a job and an apartment. What does Spirit have to say regarding my move? I have some anxiety with this big life change. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Yay, I'm smiling. um, uh, you're okay. Let me just go to the good part. You're going to get shown exactly where to go and where to work. Boom, right? Now, easy for me to say. You're getting dribs and drabs of information. You're already getting it. I'm gonna ask you to pay a bit more attention to that. And you're like, oh, is it my imagination? It's like, no, it's not your imagination, because imagination doesn't work like that. You have to work to imagine something, but this isn't coming to you like imagination. You're getting given information, and that just kind of lands in your thoughts, in your mind. You know, how to know, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Imagination doesn't work like that. And so I strongly feel you're going to get shown where, and let me be clear, Patty. Sometimes the getting shown where is a sequence of steps, right? You know, with spiritual stuff, people glamorize it like, oh, shining light on that place, and sometimes that is the case, but more often than not, it's steps, right? Steps. So, but I want to say to you, clear steps, okay? Clear steps. Now, remember what a kind of contract with spirit is. You get information, and so then it's for you to follow through. In the following through, you get the next piece, right? And then you follow through that, you get the next piece, you follow through on that. All right. So I want to say to you, relax. Relax. You're supposed to be going there. You know, it's not like you've just had an idea and you know, pray it works. No, you're supposed to be going there, and with the supposed to be going there, there comes the people, the resources, the other situational things that are supposed to make the way graceful. Okay. Okay. Will my son be moving closer to me? Yes, yes. I'm not getting a where or when or how close, but yes. Like I feel like he's already started thinking about it as well. Um, and a reminder to you, Tracy, that these. Let's find my words. Turn it down a bit. Um, it's synergistic, isn't it? The shift happens in you, and then it's noticeable outside. It's not a purely exterior thing. And I want to thank you actually, because I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that myself. So yes, he's moving closer, and you are working on yourself to affect that shift too. Okay. Okay, Roberta, traveling out of state, make sure it's a safe trip, and more about the health and the parties I'm visiting. All right, I don't understand the second part of the question there, but of course I'll read it on the trip. Oh, this looks good. This looks good, Roberta. Um, yeah, I'm getting ticks all around. Ticks, ticks, not ticks. um, no, the trip looks good. People look healthy enough. I, take due diligence and all of that and all of that. But I'm getting a good read on this trip and the people you're going to visit. Yeah. Okay. Gina, you said I've moved in August. I've been applying for jobs. But do you have a specific job that I would need to apply for, as I've not had any success yet? I can't give you a specific job, can I? Especially without having a back and forth. So listen, if there's give me something I can read on for you. So if there's time, just look. Tell me the areas you're looking at. Tell me the trades you're looking at. Or let me. I Yeah, you're going to need to if you want an answer to that specific, you're going to need to give me some options. Okay. Oops. Marsha. Is there a new job opportunity? It's more for my highest good and the highest good of others coming to me before summer ends this year. Okay, so what are we calling that? We're calling that. Should we call that by the end of September? There is another job coming, Marsha, but it's further away than it's further out, as it were, than the end of summer. So I want to affirm to you or reflect whatever that you are tuned into something there, uh, another place, another position, and so on. But I see it a little further out. Okay. Kate, I see your question. I'm just going to hide that. Kate, I see your question. I'm not comfortable answering that question in this format. All right. I'm not saying you need a whole reading for it, but I'm not comfortable answering that when I can't have a back and forth with you. Okay. I feel it's private. You know what you're asking, very private. What you're asking about there. Okay. All right, Erica. A lot of things seem to be going on with your son. I'm sorry to hear that. Will the doctors figure it out and soon? Okay. Yeah. Yes, Erica, there's a lot. I'm just, forgive me being a parrot here. Yes, there's a lot going on with your son. I see that. So to your question, because that doesn't super help. Yes, it's the medical professionals that have been attending to him so far, they're not the ones that can figure it out. There's others coming, and just being blunt, they're female, right? It's not the dudes that are going to figure this out. I do get a strong hit that we're looking at this year for some tangible answers for you. The right person. It's interesting how that happens. I went for a procedure like nearly 20 years ago, and I think I must have seen by the minute I'd seen like three different surgeons or doctors, and by the time I met the third one, which was at the first place I went to, the third one, as soon as I met him, I'm like, you're my guy. So I feel like that's coming, like the right person and female, to be the one that gets the right balance for your son. Yeah. Whoopsie, sorry, I've just lost everything. There we go. God's sake. And there we go. Do I see a romantic relationship for you this year? Yeah, I'm seeing it this year, Anne, but we're getting towards the end of the year. I don't see it. I don't see it in the summer months. And to the point, almost to the point that I've got to be careful not crossing a line here. Almost to the point that I'd say, if you do meet someone, I'm not sure about it. If you do meet, if you do meet someone super soon, I'm not sure about it. Just because of the maturity of the person I'm seeing coming very soon. Okay, so do as you wish. Do as feels right to you. I'm just asking you, encouraging you to have a close look at someone's maturity before you engage in a relationship with them, because there isn't a greater investment than having a relationship with someone. There isn't. You can talk about mortgages and all that stuff. No, you have a relationship with someone, you are plugged into them, and so just because someone shows an interest, I'm just asking you to really have a good feel into them. What I see as more suitable for you is, and more enjoyable and fun as well, is later in the year. Okay. Bridget. Oh no, sorry, I didn't. Bridget. There we go. I don't know what I've just done there. Stand still on spiritual journey. Any advice on spirit guides, please? Okay. I hear what you're saying about standstill, Bridget. It doesn't seem so much that way from what I'm looking at. Actually, not the opposite, but it looks more vibrant from where I'm sitting. So, first of all, when you're wanting more, let's say, spiritual energy, spiritual activity, shall we say, and it's not coming. Sometimes, best place to go. You'd be surprised I'm saying this. Best place to go is outside, outside of you, and so get your crystals and things like that, and make a nice grid for yourself. It's not the crystals that do anything. It's not so much the crystals that have the power. It's more about having tactility, engagement, integration, and the connection that comes from that, right? That gets you, as I say, cohesing energy, and the more energy coheses, the more available and accessible it is, and then you feel like you're having direction and movement. Okay, then ideas start to come. Secondly, you say you're at a standstill. I would say you're afraid to shine and be seen. Okay, and so I'm not saying go out and shine and be seen. I'm saying look at that. Okay, because if you could see the energy of that, of what's impeding you there, it's actually very it's very kind of coagulated, right? That and tightly, right? Look at how tight my fingers are together, and so that's got to be unwoven, right? And that is not a click of the fingers thing. Creativity, any type of creativity is going to be good for you for the same reason as I'm talking about the grid, okay? Or grid or anything, because it keeps you in place. Create some body mind and spirit integration, and then ooh, look at that, I sort of knew where to go, you'll think. And just final thing I want to say to you is, or pass on to you rather, you're saying stand still, but have some appreciation and even celebration for yourself and where you've gotten to. Okay, there's a reason. If you're standing still, there's a reason. There's a reason. Right. Okay. Maria. I heard about that actually, Maria. I'm sorry. When will you be able to return to your normal life and your work? Feel I was protected? Could it be much worse? Yes, absolutely. 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 I just want to say to you, Maria, how long can you give yourself? Because I don't think it's in the next even 3 months. If you were my family, then I wouldn't have you go back anytime soon. I know, easy for me to say. I feel like you could go back. Let me get this. Let me just be straight with you. I feel like you could go back very soon. I would rather it was well into the fall, from what I'm seeing here. So, what would I do if it was me? Oof. Maybe I shouldn't answer that question. I'm maybe not the best example there. Okay, then let me say this, Maria. You can go back soon. The longer you can leave it, right? And I know a lot goes into that, finances, other people's expectations, and all of that. But the longer you can give yourself, the better, really. Even if it's months, okay? I know it's easy for me to say. So, all right. So let's all take a breath, please. And thank you for staying with me. I always really, really appreciate those of you that stick around to the end. Knowing that I may not answer your questions and so on. I really do appreciate you support me. You do support me by doing that. And I always just like to take a breath and we're going to just close with a brief prayer. As we ask just in this moment, those of us gathered and breathing together and connected together, we ask to support to move energy of concern and worry, fear and terror from the general collective. We're asking that other people's prayers get answered. We're asking that other people get what they need. We're asking that angels be around those who feel isolated, alone, helpless. And where, of course, there is war on this planet, we pray for the fastest, the quickest, the most graceful conclusion, with minimal life loss, with minimal damage. We understand the will of God in all of this. We appreciate and honor that. For all of us here gathered in this moment, I wish you all that you need. Peace and health to yourself, to all those that you love and care about. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. Righty, well, got a couple, literally, spaces left for the retreat in September. It's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be lovely. So if you want to join for that, I would say speak now or let me know, or come to the next one. I've got I don't have any at hand right now, but the cards I made, the inspirational cards from the sketches I've been doing, that's available on the website too. I'm very proud of that. Got way more interesting things coming on the way, but I'm glad I got that out this year. So I'll say cheerio for right now, and see you all very soon.